What is up, guys? Hope we're doing well. Monday morning, back to it. Indeed. Yeah, I'm actually glad Christmas is over now. Like, people are actually going to come back to work. So many people have been off until now. I personally can never take that much of a break. It's just, I don't know. I die of boredom, literally. I would hate to spend that amount of time just not working. Guys, if you have any questions, hit me up. I am working on client stuff in the background. Let me move these over. There we go. Yeah, hit me up. Interest test. What you see right here? No, most of it's broad, to be honest. There's a couple of ad sets with interest. When I do that, I have multiple interests. I have like 5 or so interests. Do. Which niche? This one is fashion. But when I say fashion, it's quite broad because they are selling fashion accessories, clothing, hoodies, shoes, jewelry, baseball caps, like the whole lot. That's for the brand that you see on Shopify right here. That's right. Do I think USA fashion is saturated as Europe? Yeah, I think USA is heavily saturated. I don't really see many people doing well there at the moment. I think UK is a good market. Some parts of Europe are also pretty decent. Germany is a very good market, for example. I'm working with a fashion brand in, well, the drop shipping, and they're selling in the UK, and like that's going pretty well for them, to be honest. But you can stand out in any market. You've just got to build a good brand, and that's what most people aren't good at doing. But if you build a good brand, you can stand out. You can cut through the noise. It's just how you build a brand is what you've got to think about. Because if you build your brand through paid ads in the US, it's going to cost you a fortune. So, you know, instead, you've really got to be looking at how do you build it organically. Yeah, we use PayPal. What else are we using? Global E for some of the bigger ones. Global E is very commonly used for the brands that are selling all over the place, which just makes it a lot easier. No, the CPC you see here is in the UK. That's why. US is probably about $1.20, somewhere around that. Gee, what's up, man? The best videos to learn paid ads. I think Neil Patel has got some very good content. The way I learned it is from just doing it. You know, so I didn't really watch any videos, and I've watched videos over the years, and they just kind of conflicted and given different opinions. Hasn't really helped. People that do help though, I'd say Common Thread Collective, that's a YouTube channel, it's an agency. There's a guy called Taylor Holiday that runs that. Neil Patel, Dara Denny is pretty good on ad creative. She's been around a while doing that. Trying to think who else. Ben Heath is okay. But honestly, I genuinely think the best way to learn is, imagine you're creating your own brand, right? And go and figure out how to like build a website, how to create the graphics, just everything, and then get onto the ads manager part and just do it by that way. Learn by doing. I made loads of mistakes over the years. And that's how I learned in the end to manage bigger budgets. That's how I was managing 150k a month. It's just by fucking up, basically. I don't think there's a better way to learn than that. Also, the problem with the videos is that what they show you, or what they recorded like 6 months ago, doesn't really work today. Where do you find UGC for USA? I need 45 to 50 plus women. I have a tool that can do that for you if you want to use it. It's free. Otherwise, you've got to look at manually reaching out. There's a couple of agencies you can use. There's also a couple of marketplaces. Send me a DM, man. I'll send you a link. You can use it for free. It's just on a staging domain at the moment, but it will basically scrape Instagram and TikTok for UGC creators. You're trying to do this for healthcare. You're trying to run ads for healthcare. Healthcare's pretty difficult. What country are you in? Are you in the US? Most optimal ad running setup for country with a pool of 900k people. If it were me personally, I would go completely broad. I wouldn't use any interest. And I'd make sure that I have exclusions initially. It'll take you a bit of time to reach that many people individually. So make sure you've got exclusions so you don't keep showing the ads to the same people over and over again. And just go with your standard ad sets. 1865, the location you're in, exclude engagement, traffic, purchases. You could try interest. If you do interest, you want to have multiple interests. The key is to look at the audience size. You just don't want to have like one interest and be very specific, because the audience size of 900k is not huge. Yeah, exclude purchases, exclude traffic, and if you want to be super aggressive, I would exclude engagement, because then you really are prospecting. Engagement's probably the best exclusion, but after you've spent a little bit of budget, just double check that it's not too aggressive by excluding engagement. If it is, then just remove it and just do traffic only. But if you put engagement in there, you are literally guaranteed that you're not going to show ads to people who've already seen you. You can add video views as well on top. How would I scale the 4.29 ROAS ad? I mean, what we usually do is literally increase the budget by 15-20% per day. Sometimes add in more ad creatives, depending on how that's performing. I try not to do that too often though, because as soon as you add in new ad creatives, you kind of throw it off. It's like starting again from scratch. But honestly, it sounds like really basic, but that's all I'm doing most of the time, just increase the spend by like 15-20% per day. As long as you don't go over 20%, you can scale incrementally and scale in the right way. As soon as you go over 20%, like, you know, you take your ad spend from 100 a day to 500, you tend to see it crash. Yeah, man, free wisdom for everyone. I'm just working the background at the same time. It kind of works well. Do I use an agency account? Technically, yeah, I have my own agency account. Kenzo, what's up? How you doing? It's better to raise the budget than copy it. Yeah, usually you want to increase the budget. As soon as you copy it, you are literally starting from scratch. And the way to think about it is like these ad sets right here, because they've been running for X amount of time, they've built up momentum. And so as soon as you duplicate them or even duplicate the ads, it's like starting again from scratch. You lose that momentum that you've built up with those learnings. And so I'm not saying this always happens, but most of the time it's like starting again from zero because you lose all those learnings. Which is why quite often, if you create a test, you'll actually increase the spend by the day for that test if the test is working, rather than say, okay, this looks like it's working, let me duplicate it to an ad set with higher spend. As soon as you do that, you just don't get the same result. What's my best advice for first-time e-com owner? My best advice is that brand is everything. People buy into you because of your brand, and don't get caught up on all these little methods that people advertise on their YouTube channels about running ads, different scaling methods, all that type of stuff. Just focus on building a very good brand, and also double down on organic social. Like if you're starting out, you've got limited capital, the way you're really going to grow initially is through organic social. You're one post away from getting virality. So you really need to be posting consistently, figuring out what works. And then if you find any creative that works well organically, repurpose it into ad creative. What so many people do is they have, let's say like 2K that they saved up, and they just go waste it on ads without properly looking at the data, looking at how they improve the product, the brand, and they don't make any money back. Ads are only good once you've figured out that you've got something that people want. It's like this brand right here. They did 700, well, they basically did 800K in the last 30 days, right? The reason why is because they've been going for years and they figured out who their customer is. They built a really strong brand. But these other companies I work with that are starting out, it takes time to get to that level. Yeah, reviews on your site definitely help. Social proof, super important. You have to get that right. Yeah, it does take time, you know. No one really launches ads and just makes like insane ROAS overnight. It just doesn't happen. And if it does, it's because they've already got that hype that was built up before they actually launched. You know, like they've been pushing it organically, or someone's talking about them, or they've even run ads before launching. This shop makes 8 figures a year. Let's have a look. $6.9, not too bad. I'm not gonna lie, they don't have it easy. I would probably say that some of the brands I'm working with who was making like 200k a year are more profitable than these guys. These guys have so many overheads, like ridiculous amount. I don't even talk about marketing costs, I'm talking about like warehousing, staff. Yeah, I think this year organic is better than paid ads, 100%. It took me a while to figure it out, and a lot of people have been talking about it for a while. Like, if you spend 10k on organic content and you do it right, you can yield a better ROI than if you spend that 10k on paid ads. Because you've got to think about it. One good post could literally get 1 million views within 24 hours, within a week. And with 10k, if you hire the right people, you could get like 50 content creators, probably more than that, like micro, charging £100 each or whatever. You know, if 2 of those go viral, like, you've made your money back. So what do we have to do to get to work with us? I mean, do you have a brand already? You need to have a brand or a company that can run ads for. You need to have ad spend. You also need to have something that obviously works. Like, if you're a startup, it can work, but you've got to be willing to invest more money. If you're already established, then it's just a case of coming on board and run ads for you. IRL Bobby, doing good, man. How are you? Oh, what's going on with this? What's my AOV? Let me have a look. One sec. I've got this stupid view on Discard. There we go. I'm in Shopify reports right now. Let me go back to analytics. AOV is $77 at the moment. Let me look at the last 7 days there. Oh wait, You guys can't see, can you? Can you see now? Yeah. Last I noticed is actually $81, so it's gone up. Advice on making the best creatives. My advice would be that if you're starting out, look on TikTok ads library. You can literally look at every brand's creative right now and look at the click-through rate and look at where people are clicking. And so kind of reverse engineer it. Look at the script they're talking about. What is it in that script that gets people to click through to the site? You want to try and look at that. Then what you need to do is just replicate that, run a couple of variations, and start analyzing what's working, what's not. The way you analyze really is, obviously you've got CPA, cost per action, so cost per purchase, ROAS, whatever. But the better way to do it is look at click-through rate. Which ad creative is getting a better click-through rate, better cost per click, even better CPM. And you want to try and analyze what it is that's driving that better performance. Is it the fact that it's static? Is it the fact that it's this hook? Is it the type of model you're using to wear the product if you're in fashion? And then what you're doing is you just create like a spreadsheet is the easiest way to do it. There's tools that help you do it, but you're essentially just tracking all of those notes. Like, I tested this was the CTR. I tested this creative, the CTR was less than 1%. And over time, you start building up a picture of what's working, what's not, and you know what to start putting money behind. Bobby, Happy New Year, man. Do I think the demographic between Facebook ad library is different than TikTok ads? What do you mean by the demographic? You mean like the way the audience is the same, right? In terms of how it interacts with the content. I think TikTok is slightly different, yeah, to Facebook. But what I found is that content on TikTok does work very well as a Facebook ad. I had that with Fun Punch. Do you think static ads don't work well anymore? Do you still rate them? I still rate static ads. I'm getting better traction with them than UGC for some brands right now, because you can just easily test. You can get like one template in Canva and just change the headline 5 times, test those 5 creators. If you want to test that as a UGC, like, you're going to be spending more money. It's also good if you want to get a message straight across the user. Rather than have to consume a video, you can just get that message through the static ad. So yeah, I don't think static ads will ever die out. There'll never be a time where you should only use UGC. I don't think that will ever happen. What niche is this client in? Fashion. Why don't I answer? What's the question I missed? I am working on some client ad accounts in the background, so my initial question. What was your question? What if you get banned from Stripe? If you get banned from Stripe, I don't really know. I guess you gotta use a new payment provider. It depends how you got banned. Like, you could create a new Stripe account, but if you're personally banned, like blacklisted, that's a different situation. I've not really had to experience that issue. Like, the companies I've worked with haven't got banned from Stripe. They've had money held up for a period of time. It was delayed on being released, but that's as far as it really went. Oh, let me turn this out off 1 sec.
I can check your chance of
One sec, guys. Where's my chat gone? I've lost it. Where is it? Here it is. Do you do Google Ads too? Yeah, I do. How to keep up with clients getting this shit together for verification? I just have to literally pester them to do it. But a lot of the brands I work with, they've already gone through that verification. So I don't really have the issue as much, to be honest with you. It's more common in startups or brands who've never ran Google Ads. This playlist is, where is it? This is the playlist right here. Do, 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 do. Last day came across winning product 3-4 days. The order starts to fall down. What indicates that? If you've been running ads previously and then you run ads for a new product that you test, you find for a couple of days it works and declines. What could have happened, which is usually the case, is that Facebook has shown the ads of the new products to low-hanging fruit. And so then what's happened is it's kind of saturated and no longer is working. That's usually what happens when you launch something new for the first time and it goes out there and it works, and then it just completely falls off a cliff. It could be down to other reasons, but it's hard to say without looking at the ad account. It's a very common issue in Advantage Plus is that you launch something new, it works, and then it stops working. And it's because Advantage Plus often goes towards the low-hanging fruit, people who are warm, because Facebook is incentivized to get you conversions, so that is the quickest way to get you conversions. And then once it's saturated and it starts reaching new audiences, that's when it tends to not get that same result. What's my conversion rate? 1.29% in the last 7 days. Not amazing. I definitely want to improve that. Best thing here to retarget warm audience. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you launch something and it works and then stops working, it might be because it's been retargeting naturally. You want to make sure that any test goes out to a new audience, so you have to have exclusions set up, or don't use Advantage Plus. About to start a job, how much shall I save before trying e-com dropshipping? Dropshipping, you don't need as much money, I guess. I think it's very hard to make dropshipping work, like actually make profit. You might be able to break even, but to actually scale, it's pretty difficult. But starting your own brand, like, it's not cheap. If you want to start a business in general, I would probably do something more like B2B, like service-based, rather than e-com, because e-com's got a lot of overheads to start. You don't care how much, you're just curious. I would probably save up like 5k minimum, and that's very low. Do work with startups, yeah. I work with a couple of tech companies, working with an ecom startup right now. Yeah, I think you need probably about 5k. So what you need really is you need money to start the company, and you also need money to sustain yourself if you quit your job. Ideally, you don't quit your job though. You try and do both until you can quit your job. And one way to save money is don't hire an agency or a freelance like me. Just do it yourself. That'll save you literally like probably 1k. What is this tune? If you hire me for what? Sorry, 1 to 3 months, what job can you do? It depends what you have, but essentially, what I usually do is run ads for a brand. Optimize them, do the strategy, sometimes do growth hacking, work on the organic side. It depends on what you're selling, what you need. But essentially trying to get you the highest return on investment for your ad spend, marketing funds, whatever you have. No, I work on fixed fee. No, I was saying I work on fixed fee only. I don't really work on percentage anymore. What are you selling though? You're in ecom, right? You're in the process of what? Formulating another product. Nice. Yeah, I work with a few other supplement brands, yeah. I think I remember what you were doing a while ago when we spoke. You were in Manchester, right? If I remember correctly. What's up, Chris? Happy New Year, man. Big year incoming. Yeah, send me a message if you need help with the supplement brand. Be curious to know what it is anyway. Get started in electrolytes brand, nice. Guys, I gotta jump. I gotta jump to a call.